Welcome to the Almost Sunday podcast. Joel Mendelson, Lucas Kloss. No Eli Cron because he took a surprise trip to Vancouver and he's like, I'm so busy now, buddy. I can't find time. Oh, jeez. And we're like, okay, we forgive you. And he was like, really, man? Anyway, he'll be back. That's word for word. He'll be back next week because next week is prediction week and we need his fucking predictions. So he's going to be back, and it's going to be great. Not his predictions. We're going to start with some brief news, and we're going to get into a bunch of fantasy stuff. But we start with one of your boys, Joel. CD Lamb finally got his money. Just lower than Justin Jefferson at $136 million and $100 million guaranteed. I think Jefferson is at $110 guaranteed. Joel, your reaction to your boy finally getting his money.
Yeah, I don't know why Jerry waits so long all the time, It's like, what does he gain from, fucking around with them, There's no point. That being said, I'm happy they got it done. I don't know what they're going to do next year with Dak, but that's just me thinking ahead. Good for CD. He deserves it. He's 25 years old, had a great year last year, and quite certain that without him, Dak would be
horrible. Oh, yeah. There's always a number one receiver that's making Dak, whether it's Cooper or it's CD. They had to do this. They should have done this, like you said, a long time ago. Because
there's one guy who earned it. It was him.
Price just went up so much. Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They all got paid first. And they could have paid CD first.
We'll pay nothing but top dollar, thank you.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I mean, the Waddle one, fine. Waddle was never going to make the most, Even Devontae Smith got paid first. He was never going to make the most. But the other guys were resetting the market left and right. So it's like, this is so dumb. You should have done this as early as possible. Huge, huge fuck up on Jerry Jones' part. And now, Dak, here's where I'm a little confused. They haven't paid Micah Parsons. Dak is still waiting. I think they're finally looking at Dak where it's like, okay, we want you to carry us a little bit because if you're making all this money, I think this year he needs to get them to an NFC championship. He doesn't have to win it, but I think he needs to get them there. Otherwise, I think they're going to go, you know what? We're going to trade you for big-time picks, and someone's going to pick him up. Raiders come to mind at the very top of my head. Someone's going to go for it. And they're just going to be like, you know what, we're going to try to gather a super team in the meantime and find another quarterback that way.
I think it's a lose-lose going into the offseason with Dak because you're either going to pay him top dollar because he can ask for top dollar and somebody will give it to him.
100%.
Or you're going to move on and hope that you'll do better by drafting or free agency. In the draft, you're not planning on being a bad team this coming year. So it's not like you're expecting to have a high pick. And free agency, I'm not so familiar with what the market's going to look like at the end of this year, but I can't imagine it's going to be so fucking good. Like, fuck Aaron Rodgers. What are we doing?
It's going to be barren.
Yeah, I can't actually think of any good quarterbacks who are going to be on the market.
No one that can replace his production, that's for sure.
Exactly. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's no right answer here. I hope they don't pay him. Actually, the right answer is just not paying him.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him either.
But then you got to get better. Otherwise, what are we doing, Still have a good roster.
They're the Cowboys, so it's like they're the biggest brand, so there's always value just to make the playoffs. But if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, Dak he ain't it. He ain't it. And definitely not in Dallas. I think maybe with a super duper team.
With a good coach, maybe. You're a real coach. I don't understand how you move from Jason Garrett to Mike McCarthy and think it's going to get way better.
It kind of got a bit better. Dak had his best season last year.
So. Oh, no. It's better. It's for sure better.
It's better than Jason Garrett, but it's still – McCarthy does a lot of things where it's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
You're never confident in a coaching matchup.
No. Yeah, I love it personally as a Dallas Cowboy hater. I love watching it. But anyway. Moving on, Cincinnati Bengals, similar spot with Jamar Chase. They should have paid him a long time ago. They're arguably even more mismanaged than Dallas is. They just happen to employ Joe Burrow. But Jamar Chase is going to get his money because he's a top 3 wide receiver in the league. T. Higgins, they can't pay both. And T. Higgins is the number 1 receiver. I think everyone can agree on that. So he's going to play out this franchise tag, and next year he's going to be on a new team. Where do you think T. Higgins ends up next year?
This is a hard one to say because I forgot we were going to talk about it, and I'm not too familiar with the cap space on a lot of teams. But just looking at the list of teams here, My heart wants to tell you the Cowboys because I do think it's possible if he doesn't want to sign for like a ton of money.
Oh, he's gonna want.
You think he's gonna want like a ton of money?
I think he's gonna want number one receiver money for sure.
Okay, so in that case, I'm thinking 49ers could use a guy like that if they get rid of Ayuk. Debo's getting older. Kittle's getting older. Need some new targets.
They'd have to use a couple pieces probably to pay for that.
I could see a random stupid signing like with the Titans.
Yeah, Titans.
I can also see the Cardinals because I don't know who the Cardinals' number 2 receiver is.
That's one of the names I was thinking for sure, Arizona, because they're not paying anyone really outside of Kyler Murray. Marvin Harrison obviously is on his rookie contract this year. He's going to be on a rookie deal for a while, so you can afford T. Higgins, I think, at that point. They don't have a lot of talent on that team. So that's one team I was thinking of. Another team I was thinking possibly is the Chargers, but I know they're in cap hell right now. I don't know how that's going to open up. The Commanders, they have Scary Terry, but with a QB on a rookie deal, maybe they try to go for it with Jaden Daniels, pair him with T. Higgins. They lost Curtis Samuel in the offseason. They recently lost John Dotson. But the one team I was looking at as my favorite is Denver Broncos. Cortland Sutton, I love Cortland Sutton, actually. But they're not paying anyone either. And talk about a team that's bereft of talent. Broncos ain't got shit. And yeah, I said the magic word.
Did you get that word from Vikings?
No.
They said it in Vikings. I was like, ah!
No. But I do steal a lot of quotes from shows, but not that. But anyway, Denver Broncos, I think it'd be great. Young quarterback. Sean Payton probably looking for more offensive talent, offensive head coach, more likely to trade for an offensive player. So I think that would be a nice little Denver Broncos. T. Higgins stays in the AFC and tries to plague the Chiefs as much as he can.
I don't mind.
Okay, last little bit of news here. ESPN surveyed over 100 NFL players. They voted Buffalo Bills' Josh Allen as the most overrated quarterback in the entire league. Tied for second place, by the way, Jalen Hurts and Tua. Joel, do you agree with the players on Josh Allen being the most overrated?
Absolutely. And let me tell you why.
No way.
He's overrated by everybody that's not a player. So that's why the players probably vote. You know, it's like, think about it like this. He makes sick plays. He's a cool guy. Everybody loves to root for the Bills. Most people, at least. Maybe not you. I still love Josh Allen, but I'd still take Mahomes over him. I'd take Burrow over him. I'd maybe take Lamar over him. You know, it's like he doesn't have the hardware to show for how much media hype he has. So I understand why some guys would call him overrated.
This is so funny. I really expect it to be me who says he's the most overrated in the NFL.
People expect him to do like Superman shit. You know, like I'm not saying
he's not call him the Winter Soldier. That's his nickname.
I don't know what they call him. I'm not saying he's not a top 5 quarterback. I'm saying people expect the fucking world from Josh Allen.
So
it's ridiculous.
Here's my thing with Josh Allen. He's overrated, but he's not the most overrated. But he is vastly over it. People are saying that he's in the Hall of Fame already. That's bullshit to me.
That's crazy.
After 2020, he's been 23rd in completion percentage. Now, 2020 was his breakout year. So from 2021 till now, can't do that. Can't even come close to that. Actually, he can, but still.
It comes very close to that.
He came close to one time. I don't consider last year very close.
Very close that one time.
Yeah, very close. His coach honestly let him down more than anything. So after 2020, he's been 23rd in completion percentage, 8th in passing yards per game, touchdown interception ratio 15th, passer rating 16th. This is not like outstanding by any metric. So it's like, okay, the upside is his running ability. I get that. His ability to win games despite turning the ball over a million times. And I think he's elite, but he's not a Hall of Famer right now. People think he's going to be a Hall of Famer later. I'm not comfortable saying that. And to me, still not better than Burrow. Definitely not more accomplished than Lamar Jackson or even Brock Purdy. And in the past couple of years,
Purdy's a low blow. Purdy's a low blow.
Not more accomplished than Purdy. He's not even more accomplished than Matt Stafford. So I don't know what to do about
but Matt Stafford is going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I mean, even the past couple of years. Put away the rest of his career. Just in the past couple of years.
Matt Stafford has a great coach. Matt Stafford. Okay, no, come on. Don't do this.
There's been an insane team around Josh Allen. There's been more than enough of talent around him to get to the Super Bowl.
But the coaching, man. It's all about the coach.
I don't think he's
all right.
Guy for Allen, but he's good.
All right.
That defense is always good.
Defense is usually good.
Allen, I think he'll have a fine year this year. He's not the most overrated to me. The most overrated player to me, and without question, is Justin Herbert. Constantly rated a top 5 quarterback. I don't understand what he's done to deserve it. People always say, the upside is there, the arm talent. Okay, I'm waiting. I've been waiting. 1 playoff appearance in 4 years with a catastrophic collapse in that game, by the way. So it's like,
okay, well, that's not all on him, though.
Not all on him, but he was there.
But he's actually
3 points.
He's the number one beneficiary of always having a bad coach. You know, it's like the jury is still out on this guy because he's never had a competent head coach.
Is he ever going to overcome it? And the jury's not even out. People are saying he's a top 5 guy.
This is the year. This will be he's good or he's not. And then even still, if he's not good this year, they're going to say, oh, first year.
That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say we're rebuilding. And they are kind of rebuilding. I get it. But it's like, do something. Like something. Last year before he got hurt, he was having his worst season of his career. So it's like, I don't know what he does to get everyone all high and mighty on Justin Herbert. But to me, that one is way worse. And you know I'm no Josh Allen lover. Can't stand the Bills. But
you're a bit of a Justin Herbert.
I'm not a hater. I just don't get it. He's Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way nicer throwing motion than Phillip Rivers.
I don't care. I have a nicer throwing motion than Phillip Rivers, dude. And what if the ball gets there, the ball gets there. So if Phillip Rivers was shock putting it whatever way he was getting the ball there, it was getting there. So, you know.
Yeah, I miss Phillip Rivers.
They're the same, man. They got the same stats. They got the same everything. They're just, it's constantly overblown. Random people always picking the Chargers, whether it's Phillip Rivers, Hurt. It's BS to me.
Fair enough.
Time for some fantasy talk. Joel, Eli, and I, and our producer AJ in a 14-man fantasy league.
It's too many.
Yeah, well, a bit, because you want it to be juicier, but 14 is nice. Let's see who knows their stuff, right? Yeah, just kidding. Anyone could win at any time. I've seen Eli win a fantasy league. I've seen Eli win a fantasy league after only knowing football 1 year. I've seen my mom win a fantasy league in her first time ever. She had the greatest team I've ever seen. So things just happen. Things happen. But now we're more into it, okay? So we're going to see what's up. We're going to be talking overvalued, undervalued. We're going to start with rookies. I'll go first. And I'm going to go with Rome Odunze from the Chicago Bears.
Over or under?
Overvalued. I see people taking him in the 6th round. A lot of talent on that team. And I think he'll be the odd man out this year. Keenan Allen did come into camp overweight, apparently. But he's a veteran. I think he'll come in, be pretty friendly to a young quarterback. I think that'll be good. I think Odunze will be the number 3 for now because I think DJ Moore's there. Cole Kmet probably going to want to run the ball. I think Caleb Williams is going to run the ball himself a fair bit. And guys that I'm seeing go after Odunze, Jordan Addison, Deontay Johnson, Jacoby Myers. You know, Jacoby Myers is like 16th ranked in fantasy for wide receivers last year. Brian Thomas, the rookie for the Jags, you know, I'm high on him. Tyler Lockett, Cortland Sutton. You know, these are all guys I'd rather have than.
Disagree on some of the names, at least. I just think he's pretty electric, honestly. At least in preseason, in the little bit he played, he was fun to watch. You know, he's making some nice plays. So I have a hard time believing he's going to be that bad, you know?
I don't think he's going to be bad. I just don't think that from a fantasy standpoint, he's going to do better than. I think Jordan Addison is now the 2 in Minnesota. Osborne's gone. Hawkinson is going to be hurt for a very long time.
Well, 4 games.
Is it only 4?
I thought he's on the PUP.
He's recovering from a knee, no?
I don't remember.
It's bad. I think he got hurt later in the year last year, so I don't know when he's going to be back exactly. But he's either way, he's not going to be 100% for a while. So I think, and Jordan Addison was very good when Jefferson wasn't there last year. Deontay Johnson, I think, is now the 1 in Carolina. Maybe it's Xavier Leggett. Can't imagine that Adam Thielen's the 1, so I'd rather have Deontay Johnson. Kobe Myers is the 2 for the Raiders, and he was, like I said, super productive last year.
I mean, Gardner Minshew is fun.
He's fun.
He's fun.
You love these jean wearing, tobacco chewing.
They're fucking epic.
Don't you? You just love it.
Hardcore, man.
Fine. Okay. So, but then that supports my point. Jacoby Myers is going to be pretty good, right?
I mean, he could be.
Would you rather have Tyler Lockett than
yes.
Than Jacoby, or not Jacoby? I mean, than Odunze. Tyler Lockett.
Yes.
Okay. What about Cortland Sutton? He's got to be the number one in Denver.
I don't know how I feel about Bo Nix right now. But yeah, he should be the number one. Because it's not even like they can take him out and bring in somebody like a Geno. It's like they're bringing in Zach Wilson. It's like,
lit up the preseason.
Yeah, no thanks. I take Lockett over Sutton.
Lockett over Sutton, okay. But what about Sutton over Odunze?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so we
still at number one.
We're kind of agreeing right now. We're agreeing. But all these guys I'm seeing are taken after Odunze, which I just don't get. Anyway, okay. Your overvalued rookie.
My overvalued rookie is it's a funny one actually. It's Malik Neighbors, wide receiver 23 on NFL Fantasy. Here 1 second. I got to go back to my list here. Let me tell you some guys that are after him. It's not fair. Fucking DJ Moore? Are you kidding me? Like, Malik Neighbors might be a number one, but if you watch Daniel Jones this preseason, that's not a guy who's ready to go.
Train wreck.
I mean, like, I don't care. I'm staying away from all the Giants. Give me, none of that, Don't bring any of that over here. Yeah, no, Malik Neighbors too high. Terry McLaurin below him.
That's such a weird one.
This is also NFL.com fantasy, and I don't know how great they are, but
that's great. I would definitely take Terry with Jaden Daniels, and I would definitely take DJ Moore. Definitely DJ Moore. Like, that's insanity to me.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I just feel like with Malik Neighbors, his value just shoots up because he's not sharing targets with anyone. Like Darius Slayton. Like, who is even their tight end now? I don't even know. Do they have one?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't think they have a real tight end. So it's like they're the only reason. I can definitely see the argument for Neighbors over McLaurin. And
Theo Johnson is ranked 23rd on NFL Fantasy.
What?
Above Cole Kmet.
Okay, that's gonna.
Well, to be fair, there is only one ball, so Cole Kmet might have some trouble getting targets.
Okay, we'll get back to that later. Trust me, but maybe I have him on my list somewhere. We'll see. Actually, I think Malik Neighbors over Terry. Maybe I get it, just because. See, I'm trying to wrestle with Daniel Jones. That's my biggest issue. Like, Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields looked worse than the rookie quarterbacks in the. So I'm like trying to wrestle with that. But I think Daniel Jones can deliver the ball enough times to Malik Neighbors. Be valuable. I wouldn't take him that high. I probably wouldn't even take him second round.
I'm taking him wide receiver.
Oh, no, sorry. Definitely wouldn't take him second round.
Nuts.
Yeah, no. Probably fourth. I would take him fourth. Maybe third, depending on who's up.
I hope I'm not faced with that decision, honestly.
Yeah, that's a scary one. You hate watching fantasy when you have a wide receiver and terrible quarterback is the worst. Okay.
Real wide open, 20 feet over his head.
It's awful, dude. Undervalued rookie time. And mine is Jaden Daniels, basically just talking about him. I don't know about his future in the NFL long term. I've already talked about that in past episodes. But I do like him from season to season. He's too small for my liking, but he can run, more of an elite passer than Lamar Jackson when Lamar was entering in his rookie season. And that's his comparison. So fantasy-wise, I do really like Daniels because he's going to run, he's going to throw. I love Scary Terry. I love the new coaching staff there. I think they're going to get things rolling. So Jaden Daniels, I think, is a super undervalued rookie.
I don't know how I feel about him at all, honestly. Like, I don't mind arguments. I just, I can't commit to liking him or Drake May right now, honestly. Caleb Williams, though.
Yeah, guessing rookie quarterbacks.
I'm on the bandwagon. I am on the bandwagon with Caleb Williams.
Hey, listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. GMs can't guess quarterbacks any better than I can. So
good point.
All right, you're undervalued rookie.
Xavier Worthy, wide receiver 35. They just cut fucking, what's his name? Stupido. Yeah, Kadarius Toney. Rashid Rice in some legal troubles now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we're not hearing anything about this. He must be getting suspended, right?
I think so. I don't know, but
the season is about to start.
Wait 1 second. There's a little.
I'm so confused because there's nothing saying anything about him not playing. But like, bro,
he just got swept like what guns kind of thing. What guns?
No, he caused like a massive car accident
and left guns in the car.
And left firearms in it, and then also assaulted like a photographer later.
Unclear how many games he'll play now that he's facing criminal charges for a hit-and-run 6-car accident.
So maybe he'll start and get suspended later, but I find that the most strange thing I've ever seen.
Playing games and going to trial in the same week.
They play in a week on Thursday.
Anyway, my point is, Xavier Worthy is fast as fuck. And I think he's the move, especially with a new couple openings right there. Kelsey's getting older. Who knows how big of a workload he's going to have during the season.
And Hollywood Brown expected to miss time.
I think he's horrible. Anyway, those are my stayaways.
I don't think he's horrible, but I never thought he was a true number one. But I don't mind that one at all. Because, Mahomes can just make anything work. We see that constantly. If this guy can just catch, if he just has decent hands, it's going to work. Because he's fast as shit, like you said. He's undersized, but, everyone's comparing him to Deshaun Jackson, Always, like, super skinny, super fast, and he just made it work.
Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, my Lord. It would be a nightmare. So, and all they've been talking about this offseason is getting the deep ball back, and even Mahomes talked about, like, he didn't throw a deep ball. He threw, like, an under route, and Andy Reid was like, why didn't you throw that deep ball there? What's going on? It was like, oh. He's like, we're getting back to that, are we? Sure.
Yeah.
So that would be absolutely filthy. I would love to see it just because, man, Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. That didn't last long enough, so I like that. Okay. Enough with the rookies. Time for some overvalued, undervalued. We're going to do QBs, wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. I'm going to start first with my overvalued quarterback, and that's Anthony Richardson. Don't think he's learned to slide, according to the preseason. 3-yard rush, dives forward into contacts. Didn't like that. I think it's catastrophic that he got hurt in his first season because you miss out on so much development. That's why I feel bad for the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy. Same shit, where it's like, man, you want to know what you have in that rookie, and they just don't know. And with Anthony Richardson, I don't know. Everyone is high on him. We saw flashes. We keep talking about these flashes because that's all we've seen. I'm not buying it.
Man, they were games.
They were games. Could be flash in the pan, and I don't know. High risk, high reward draft pick. His comp was Josh Allen. Even Josh Allen was viewed as a project, so that's really tough. After he gets injured as well for fantasy, I think Anthony Richardson going to be running less in the red zone. I expect Jonathan Taylor to eat up a bunch of those snaps too. So I think his running upside is going to be a lot lower than people think, as long as your boy there at head coach is calling some smart plays.
I can't believe you do this. I
keep attacking your Colts.
I agree with most of it. I don't think it was a flash in the pan, and I don't think it's going to be catastrophic to his development, but I do believe they will have Jonathan Taylor the whole time. And if they're going to be smarter, they should call less QB runs.
I think Taylor's going to be filthy this year.
I don't know what ranking he was for you, but on NFL.com. QB5. Wait, nuts?
Yeah. I was seeing him around 5 the whole time. I would see Allen go before him, Hurts, Lamar, and then it was often like Mahomes or Richardson. I was like, okay.
That's crazy.
This is getting a little nuts to me.
I would even take Dak over him.
Maybe. Dak was insane last year. I wouldn't take Dak this year, but Dak was really good last year. I mean, Jordan Love was number 5 last year, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, hey, you're overvalued. Don't do this.
Jalen Hurts.
You're such a douchebag.
Number 2. He's ranked number 2 here. What are you, crazy? He lost his center. Okay, the tush push. Who knows how effective Saquon, who's way better at fucking running than Jalen Hurts is. And that's pretty much all I need to say. Like, there's no way he's the second-ranked quarterback. Like, he has some fun pieces around him, but I think the rushing touchdowns are going to climb. Sirianni's going to get fired after they lose.
Okay, that's enough. I totally disagree. I think he's properly valued at number 2.
Oh, you're crazy.
I think it should be Josh Allen and then Hurts for fantasy. We'll see with the tush push. I do think it's a good point where Kelsey's not there. We'll see what happens. I think it would be smart if they did it way fucking less.
Have Saquon do it,
or have anyone do it. Bring in some big guy to do it. Remember the Packers used to have BJ Raji do some QB sneaks? Come on, man, get someone in there to do that.
Sneaky big guy.
Yeah, get in Dallas Goedert, anyone. AJ Brown even, I'd rather have him do it, Get someone in there, get Kenneth Gainwell to do it, someone who's maybe in a background role that needs something to do. Where'd the fullback position go, okay? Can we do that?
It does feel like they're playing with fire with his knees.
Dude, whenever the Chiefs run a QB sneak, it's with their backup tight end. It's like, come on. Let's do a tush-push here. You guys have mastered this thing. Let's try and get some new players in there. Stop putting your most important player at risk. But I don't know if Sirianni. I don't think Sirianni's going to get fired. He's their most important player, obviously. He's their franchise. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. I'm not saying he's their best player. He's their most important player.
All right.
I hope he runs less. But let's be honest. Sean Desai last year, offensive coordinator, he was out of his depth. He didn't know what he was doing. It was 3rd and 8. They're running draw plays with Hurts. Even when he was injured, it was like, you guys are honestly on crack. Like, you guys are trying to get him killed. Now they have Kellen Moore. I've never been the biggest Kellen Moore fan, but hey, can you put in some more motion? Get some of these guys rolling. Little Slim Reaper, little AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert action.
Kellen Moore was the biggest right place, right time coordinator I've ever seen.
People went nuts on him. I never did, but he's better than Sean Desai. So I think he can get that offense right. So I disagree on that one. Okay. You're an Eagles hater, buddy.
I am. With all my heart.
Okay. Undervalued time. This is who I thought you were going to say, actually, is your overvalued. Undervalued is my boy Trevor Lawrence. I'm seeing Jared Goff, Tua, all these guys going above him. Like, he's going mighty low. I think I've seen a Herbert go often going above him. I can't stomach this anymore. Okay. He's undervalued. Going to pop off in fantasy, running, throwing. Everyone's doubting him. He's going to prove me right, finally. Brian Thomas is going to pop off, number 1 receiver, Christian Kirk. Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne still there. This team, no one wants to face the Jaguars, I'll tell you that right now. Trevor Lawrence, putting fantasy even aside, I think he's going to pop off. I think he's going to be a top 8 fantasy quarterback this year. And finally proved me right.
I hate all the reasons you just said, but I do agree that he's ranked too low on this ranking. He's 17th here. See, I think he should be above Brock Purdy, Jaden Daniels.
Maybe.
Jordan
Daniels runs a lot.
Matt Stafford for sure. But you named quarterbacks that I didn't agree with.
What about Goff?
Goff throws like crazy amounts of touchdowns. At least he did last year. Goff's nasty. I'd take Goff over Trevor Lawrence.
In fantasy or just in fantasy, right? Not as a quarterback.
Overall.
You sickened me. You honestly
Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl. What's Trevor Lawrence done?
Bro, that Super Bowl was based on all the blood of the people in New Orleans, man. That was a blood Super Bowl. And they put up 3 points mainly because Goff was an absolute shitter in that game. They didn't deserve to be there. They got refed to the Super Bowl.
The defenses were way better. Goff was a shitter in that game. He was also like a second-year quarterback. And
no, he wasn't.
Okay, fine. 3rd year at most. At most.
Yeah, 3rd or 4th.
I thought it was the first year they moved to LA.
It was the 2nd year with McVay, and he had already played with the other head coach.
Played 1 year with Fisher.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was his third year.
Either way, young guy.
They should have been in the Super Bowl, so we can agree on that. They got refed.
Fuck the Saints.
Don't know where that hit comes from.
They just cried so much about it, They tried to sue the NFL.
Who wouldn't?
Sue the NFL. Fucking grow up,
Bro, come on. Are you kidding me, dude?
This bad calls happen. Dez caught the ball, you asshole.
And we still hear about it.
Nobody sues the NFL, though.
Well, because that wasn't a suing-worthy thing. That was like a highly debated thing. He didn't survive the ground. Those were the rules back then. You had to survive the ground, and he didn't. Sorry. Survive the ground, Dez. Don't reach out.
Dumb rule.
Yeah. Cowboys could have done something for once. They probably still would have found a way to lose. Anyway, give me your undervalued quarterback since your take on Trevor Lawrence was so ghastly.
Caleb Williams, QB 12. I think he's going to be gnarly. I would take him over Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels. He's ranked under Jaden Daniels. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Take him over Burrow just because he runs too. Not Dak. I'd put him in 9. But
I'd take him over Dak, not Burrow. But I think Burrow's going to be MVP. So.
But that still doesn't necessarily translate to fantasy.
No, not necessarily, but I think he's just going to throw a ton of touchdowns this year. I think he's going to be absolutely filthy. But yeah, I agree. He's definitely undervalued. I'm seeing him going super low too. Like, I think Stafford's going to have a great year, but I'm seeing Stafford go above very rarely. But even though it even happens sometimes, I'm like, yeah, that's just silly. Like, you have to worry about everything. I think Caleb Williams could run for like, would you be surprised if he ran for 500 yards this season? I wouldn't. That would not be.
I feel like that's not that many.
It's not that many.
Over a 14-game season.
And a rookie too. Rookie quarterbacks run more. Like, I think he's going to be nasty. Honestly, I think he's going to be
just
nice.
Under 40 yards a game. No,
I'm not good at math, but
break off a couple long runs.
Yeah, I think he can be nice. You know, he's not going to be Fields running the ball, but thank God he can throw. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I would take him pretty high up, especially if you're in Dynasty, obviously. Okay, moving on to wide receivers. Overvalued for me. Stephon Diggs. I don't think he's the number one. I don't even think he's the number two. I think Nico Collins is the one. I think Tank Dell's the two. Nico Collins, I would take high up. Stephon Diggs, no shot. I would stay away from this guy totally. Total diva. I think he's going to be the odd man out. They also have Schultz there. Joe Mixon's there now too. And if he starts throwing tantrums, D'Amico Ryans, he ain't going to take your shit, man. He's a defensive player. He's a defensive head coach. He's not going to take that. He already said Stephon Diggs will not be a problem. I know some coaches say, oh, no, it's not a problem. To me, I took that as I will move him off of this team if he is messing with what we got going on here. So to me, Stephon Diggs, completely overvalued. I'm seeing him go above a ton of guys. I'm not touching that. I'm seeing him go second round, third round. No shot.
I don't hate it. I mean, there are a bunch of guys below him on like a list that I would take over him. So I agree. You know, I'd take Xavier Worthy over him. I'd take Chris Godwin over him. Keenan Allen. Even Keon Coleman, I would take over him. So yeah,
I would take Keenan Allen and Keon Coleman for sure.
Keon Coleman, I think, is undervalued actually, but that wasn't on my list. So
who is
undervalued wide receiver? Terry McLaurin, wide receiver 27.
You're doing undervalued or over?
Undervalued.
Under.
Below Malik Neighbors? Below Debo? I feel like Debo is kind of on the downslope kind of thing.
He's got to worry about his health as well.
Yeah, George Pickens, like I know he still had a decent year last year, but I just don't like him. I hate
the team is just offensively challenged.
Look at that team.
Yeah, fuck the Steelers.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan.
No offense, guys. Yeah, no, I love that. I think Terry should go way higher than I'm seeing him go as well.
He's first of all with shitty quarterback.
People don't know that he's like an amazing receiver. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's there. It's like, if this guy had a quarterback that could throw him the ball, this would be disgusting. And I said it earlier, the reason why I like Jaden Daniels too is because of the connection I think he's going to have with McLaurin. Because Curtis Samuel gone, Jahan Dotson gone. Like, I think they're going to be nice.
I agree on this. I don't think they're going to be nice. I think the duo will be pretty nice.
I think the Commanders will win more games than people think. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be nice. I think they're going to be tough, especially with the ability of Jaden Daniels. But yeah, I love Terry McLaurin, so I'll take that.
Is your coach Bieniemy?
Nope, Dan Quinn.
Right. Oh shit, is Bieniemy their coordinator?
No, I think he's in college now.
Was he last year?
He was our coordinator last year. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going crazy.
My undervalued receiver, Amari Cooper, 18th in points per game last year, and now I'm seeing him drafted 25th. Don't get it. Go figure. He wasn't just good with Flacco either. Like, that was more of an Njoku thing. He was good even when Deshaun was bad. He was averaging 100 yards. I wouldn't take Devontae Smith over him. That's what I'm seeing go over him, Devontae Smith and others. And also you have to think about target sharing. Jerry Jeudy, Njoku.
Jerry Jeudy didn't do shit the whole time he was on the Broncos.
Exactly. I don't believe in Jerry Jeudy, so I think they have to be looking at Amari Cooper all the time. And Njoku, but he's still only a tight end. And Nick Chubb's not going to be healthy for the beginning of the season. They're not going to be able to run as efficiently as usual. So, Amari Cooper, I would still take him. Number one receiver. I wouldn't take him as my first receiver, but second, he'd be a nasty flex. Nasty.
I don't really agree, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't put him lower. So, I think he's correctly valued.
Oh, my God. So you think he should be valued worse than last year? 25th? receiver.
Yeah, I think he's getting older, and I think he always fucking gets hurt for at least like 4 games at a time. It's
Would you
so
take Devontae Smith?
Yes.
No way. No, I can't.
If maybe not fantasy, but in real
can't.
life, in a fucking heartbeat. Oh my god, in a heartbeat.
Yes. In real life, if I were picking my number one receiver, I would take Devontae Smith. I'm a Slim Reaper guy, but I'm just looking at target share. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that? Give me Amari Cooper all day. Be nasty.
I don't think very much of Njoku anymore either. I feel like he always kind of disappears.
It's weird with him. He's on and off. He's like Kittle. It's like 30 points and then 5 and then 30. But okay. Your overvalued wide receiver.
Devontae Adams, wide receiver 14. I'd take DK over him. I'd take Mike Evans over him. And I'd take Amari Cooper over him. Although Gardner Minshew is fun.
Dude, I can't do this.
I'm not going to lie. When I wrote those notes, I totally forgot Gardner Minshew was there.
Hey, Gardner Minshew was feeding Pittman on the Colts last year.
Yeah, and Devontae Adams.
That could be more of a coaching thing, too.
I don't actually like this one anymore. I'm changing it.
Good, because I hated it.
I'm going to go with Drake London. Drake London's wide receiver 10 here. Well, I do think that, Kirk is going to use him. I don't know, man. I think finally, I think Kyle Pitts is finally going to start his fucking career now. So that's going to hurt a little bit. Bijan's great. Algier's great. There's a lot of people who can take the ball on Falcons. So Drake London being 10th is a little high.
I like London this year. I don't think Algier's great. I think he's just a guy.
He's good enough.
I don't like Pitts. I'll get to that later this episode for sure. But I think Drake London with Kirk Cousins is going to work. I think the ball has to go somewhere. He had over 1,000 yards last year, and that was with one hand tied behind his back, it seemed like, along with everyone else in that offense. So I think he's going to be force-fed the ball in the passing game. So I actually think Drake London is going to kind of go nuts this season. So definitely.
Well, I'm standing by my Drake London.
Yeah, good thing you didn't say Devontae Adams because that guy's sick.
Well, Gardner Minshew. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Running backs. My overvalued running back. Zach Moss. Chase Brown, solid last year for the Bengals. Reports that he might steal the number 1 spot already from Zach Moss. So to me, no point in even taking a flyer on him. Even in a flex spot, I think there would be better options. I'd rather have a number 1 tight end than Zach Moss in my flex spot at this point, if you're doing, WRT. So Zach Moss, I don't like. I do think he's more of a backup running back than a real number 1. I get it if he's sort of a bigger body than Chase Brown, so maybe goal line, but I just think overall passing game, Chase Brown's got more upside. So overvalued to me, Zach Moss.
I love it. I think he's whatever. I think he had a good year because Shane Steichen's epic at drawing up runs. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Your overvalued running back.
Fucking Najee Harris, running back 26. How is this guy above Jalen Warren on this list? It's like Jalen Warren is going to take his job in week 3. There's so many guys that I would take above Najee in real life and fantasy. Hold on.
Definitely in real life for me.
Yeah. Oh my God. Aaron Jones, done.
Yes.
Jalen Warren, done. Eckler, that would be a tough one. Brian Robinson in a heartbeat.
I would take Brian Robinson.
Fucking Zach Moss. I would take Zach Moss.
No.
Okay, but Chase Brown for sure. But anyway, I can't stand watching that guy run.
I think what they're looking at is because Arthur Smith is the OC now. And what he did with Derrick Henry, but Najee Harris is not Derrick Henry. So,
but then look what he did with Bijan.
His most recent experience was bad, and the Steelers are just historically offensively challenged, like I said earlier. And Jalen Warren's there, and Jalen Warren in the past game for fantasy is money. So it's no.
I would put Justin Fields in at running back before.
Yeah, I'm not. He doesn't have nice speed either, Najee Harris. He's just kind of big and
doesn't move nicely at all.
Yeah, he's most famous for making 3 moves in the backfield and getting tackled instantly. So it's pretty bad. Yeah, no, I definitely
pretty sick in those Bama jerseys, didn't he?
Yeah, great. Hey. All right, we're in complete accord here for overvalued running backs. Okay, undervalued running back. I'll go. Such a shame that Eli isn't here because I'm taking his guy, Tajay Spears, with the Tennessee Titans. I was right about Tony Pollard since the beginning of time. No one agreed with me. This guy's not a true number one. Finally, the Cowboys agreed with me. Let him walk. I think Spears is better. I think he'll be better with the Titans. I think he's more explosive. I think he's better out of the backfield. I think he's a better pass catcher. I think Spears, if he's not already stolen the number one job, is going to be the number one running back in Tennessee. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are I'm just looking up Tony Pollard's contract real quick.
Oh, God.
Because I want to know how much they're spending on that guy because I do agree that he's not a number one. 3 years, 21 mil.
What?
That's a good amount of money. Sorry, near 21,750.
That's insane.
So closer to 22 mil. That's a lot of money to bring in a guy to be your number two back. So I do like Spears probably better than Pollard. I do think at one point Pollard could have been the number one guy in Dallas, but they probably waited too long.
Yeah, he could have been when Zeke was still there and horrible.
But yeah, I don't mind that, and I kind of have a set. Like I would never touch Pollard in fantasy.
No, God,
so depressing.
Tajay's going to steal his job. I think even if they try to, they're probably going to try to justify the contract. So Pollard is going to get snaps early, but I think after a while they're going to be like, man, enough of this shit. Like, where's Spears? Get this guy off the field.
My undervalued running back, Raheem Mostert, running back 18. Achan's got some injury history. You know, I'm not sure if he's going to stay healthy or not, but I think Mostert will if he's not playing as much. He was still a very good running back last year. I don't remember where he finished, but I know it was at least in the top 15 in the running backs. You know.
Oh God, I think he's the number 2 running back in fantasy.
No, I don't think so. I think that was 2 years ago.
I don't know. I think he might have done it.
I remember being surprised at how high he finished.
I'm pretty sure he played 21 touchdowns.
I thought that was 2 years ago.
No, because their run game took off this year big time.
Okay, well, RB 18 for Mostert. I think he can go a little higher than that.
Okay, I jumped the gun at 2. He was number 5 for total points for running back.
Fair enough. That's quite high.
Yeah, and points per game, I think he was a bit higher, 4. Yeah.
Mostly.
I'll be honest, I flirted with that pick, but some things are concerning me. His age, he's now 32, I believe.
Yep, it's all concerning if he was going to be the number one back going in, you know. But
yeah,
Achan to get a bunch of carries.
Yeah, that's another thing though. If Achan's getting a bunch of carries and they like their rookie running back in Jaden Wright, also in Miami, and Jeff Wilson's still there, I don't expect him to be a real factor. But
so disappointing what happened to that guy.
Yeah. But Jaden Wright, the other rookie's still there, so it's like, hey, this is gonna be a crowded backfield. It's gonna be super weird. So maybe the rookie Wright will not do much, and maybe it'll still be the Mostert and Achan show, but that's the only thing that makes me sort of wary about it. He's dropped a ton. I mean, he wasn't a high pick last year either, Mostert, but he made people's teams. Like, he was unreal. So I did think about that one, but in the end, I was like, I got to stay away from this. I was like, he's scaring me. So I'm not too high on him. I'm a bit worried, but I don't hate it. Like, if at a flex spot, I could see myself taking a shot, depending on who's there. Okay. Tight ends. Overvalued. I told you I'd get to this. Kyle Pitts. Still haven't seen him work. It's been a pretty long experiment at this point.
Not a real coach.
I know, but like we've been saying, like we've seen players work with bad quarterbacks. Not saying it's all his fault, but I wouldn't be drafting him high. I do think Arthur Smith was a mess last year, and I don't know what they've been doing his entire time that Pitts has been there, but I still would not do it. Like, there are a lot of tight ends I would take above him. Like, maybe not Dallas Goedert just because of target share, but Ferguson definitely. Njoku for sure. My undervalued tight end I would take over him for sure, but I don't want to spoil it, so I won't say just yet. But yeah, Pitts. I'm still staying away from this guy. I think I have faith in London. I still don't have faith in Kyle Pitts.
I have a lot more confidence in Pitts going into this year than last year for sure. But I do think that if he has a somewhat not great year this year, that I'm going to be big time out on Pitts. You know, so it's over now.
Like, at some point, this has to work.
That's true.
He looks like a freak athlete, but I'm just.
Well, he is a freak athlete. Doesn't look like one.
then do something with it.
Yeah, that would be cool. But like Kirk, so it'd be cool.
We'll see. It also depends on what Kirk's going to look like this year. He's coming off a torn Achilles. So a lot of things are kind of worrying me. I do think the Falcons will be good, but I'm going to say overvalued for Pitts.
I'm going George Kittle. Breaks my heart. Tight end 7. Wow. I think it's starting to go. I love him, but he's not the same he used to be, and it's a long season. If they want to save him for the playoffs, I'm not going to waste a solid pick on George Kittle.
I would like to avoid him. There are guys I would take above him. He's at 7. Who's above him? Do you know?
Here, I got you.
I would definitely take Laporta, Mark Andrews,
McBride, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts.
Dalton Kincaid, probably. Kyle Pitts. No, I would not take.
And I would take, but Jake Ferguson's below him on this ranking. I would take Jake Ferguson over him.
I might take Ferguson.
I'd take Evan Ingram over him. I'd take Dallas Goedert over him.
I'm not take Dallas Goedert. No shot.
Brock Bowers could be a fun one.
See, it's tough because Evan Ingram for the Jags gets a ton of targets and a ton of catches, but not really a bunch of touchdowns. Kittle is weird. It's like he'll go so long without doing anything, and then he'll go off on Dallas for 3 TDs, and you're like, bro, what?
Yeah,
so it's the strangest thing with him. I am worried about his health. He's hurt every year at some point. Yep. So that's worrying me. I would like him a lot more if Ayuk gets moved, then I think. Then I'm taking him. I have to. But if Ayuk stays, then we're looking at the same target share as last year. So I don't know. But 7. I probably disagree with you on that. I think he's right in the sweet spot. Ready?
Yeah.
I did say I'd get to this boy. Undervalued tight end. Cole Kmet. 8th ranked fantasy tight end last year, and now I'm seeing 12, sometimes 13 tight ends go ahead of him. No way. Got a better QB now than he did last year. Tight ends are great for young quarterbacks, like throwing across the middle is way easier for a less skilled quarterback or a younger quarterback because, first of all, it's a less cluttered area, and second of all, it's a shorter distance than throwing to outside the numbers. Tight end and alongside a running back is often a quarterback's best friend. So I love him. I think Cole Kmet's going to go nuts. I don't know why he's dropping in value so rapidly. It makes no sense. I'd rather have him than Dalton Schultz, Kyle Pitts, Goddard, maybe even Njoku because I don't know what's happening with Deshaun Watson. So give me Cole Kmet. Undervalued.
Dropping is because they also have Gerald Everett. They signed Gerald Everett.
Yeah, but Gerald Everett is whatever. I think the real reason he's dropping is because they have so many receivers.
And Gerald Everett. They've got 5 other dudes.
Don't talk to me about Gerald Everett.
Why are you going out and signing a guy if you're not intending to use him? I think Cole Kmet has to play better than him to get back his spot.
Well, no way. Cole Kmet is still the number 1 over Gerald Everett.
You might be a little surprised, man.
No. Would you rather Dalton Schultz
than Cole Kmet?
Yeah.
No.
What about Dallas Goedert?
I like Cole Kmet. I'm just saying that I don't know what his position on that team is.
There's not 12 tight ends that are going to be better than him in fantasy this year. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, probably not. He's 25th on the list I'm looking at.
In tight ends?
Yeah, because Gerald Everett's 21st. He's got Isaiah Likely is ahead of both Bears tight ends on this list.
Okay, I can't. Okay, NFL fantasy, they all have what they're having. All right, they're
fucking league, and they don't know anything.
Smoking like a chimney. No. Okay, you're undervalued tight end.
Mark Andrews, tight end number 4. I think he's going to have an epic year. I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Derrick Henry, and Mark Andrews coming off an injury. I think he's going to be sick. He played 10 games last year, and he was still quite good. So hopefully he plays for the full year, and I think he's going to be better than McBride and Laporta.
I love it. Yeah, I also think he's undervalued. I would definitely take him. I think he is going to honestly be the number 1 tight end.
I think so too.
The Ravens have lost a lot all over, but they haven't. They still didn't really have weapons on offense to lose other than Gus Edwards. So it's okay. But they did lose a lot everywhere else, and if he stays healthy, I think he's gonna be nuts. He's Lamar Jackson's favorite target, so you love that right away. They love throwing.
Sick. He's just fucking sick.
He's a great player. They love throwing him to him in the red zone. So everything lines up for him. he's really their number one target. So
Love Mandrews. Yeah.
I would definitely take him over. I'll take him over every tight end. I would.
Pretty much, yeah. Maybe Laporta. Laporta's just in such a good offense. You know?
He's in such a great offense, and he's got a better quarterback when it comes to passing. But I think he'll take a. He was so great last year. I feel like he has to take like a little smidge step back, at least for fantasy. So
possibly.
Yeah, no, I think Mark Andrews undervalued. I would definitely when I'm doing mock drafts, I'm trying to kind of look at where he is. I'm like, I don't want to snake him. But no, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna stick with fantasy here, but we are doing Would You Rather. Now I have to change one of these because we already talked about Hurts or Allen. So that's changing.
That was a Would You Rather, Hurts or Allen?
Yeah.
I would have slam dunked that in your face.
Okay, relax, buddy. Relax.
Dumb question.
I already have Murray on here. We're gonna start with Jordan Love or Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray was almost on my overrated list.
He's a good quarterback, man.
He's a good quarterback, man.
And he runs. He runs.
Does run. Is there running back still James Conner?
There is.
Guess I'll go Kyler. Fuck.
Wow.
I don't like doing it, but like he runs. He runs.
See, I struggle a ton with this because Jordan Love was, like I said earlier, the 5th ranked quarterback last year. But Kyler's so much better than people remember.
It's because he's small.
Especially he's small, and there's a bunch of drama around him, and I don't ever see him like winning a Super Bowl, but he can play, man. Yeah, Call of Duty, search and destroy, bud. No scope. He's gonna no scope Marvin Harrison all year, but
Marvin Harrison is so sick. That definitely plays a factor too.
But it just feels like the Packers have got it together. Like Jordan Love, it's like a flick has been switched. So I just think that he's in. He's in. A flick has been switched. A switch has been flicked.
Yeah, I can't believe you noticed that.
I only noticed because of the face you made. But I do think that he's figured it out, and I think he's going to be absolutely filthy. Like, I would love to grab – both these guys are dropping, so I would love to have either one of them on my team, but I lean towards Jordan Love.
I think I'd rather Kyler.
That really is like a pick 'em. Okay. Sticking with the Cardinals, James Conner, or your undervalued running back, Raheem Mostert.
Oh, fuck.
Weird one.
Yeah, because one of them is a shitty fucking number one, but it's like a number one.
Hey, neither of these guys are shitty. Take that back.
No, they're kind of bad. I'm going to go James Conner just because I can imagine myself trying to make a smart play with Mostert, and then he gets injured, or like HN never does and has a great year. So I'm going to not root for injuries and take the number.
Yeah, I'm going to take James Conner.
I had James Conner last year, and it fucking sucked.
He was good. He was fine.
No. Especially without Kyler, he was bad, dude.
That's why I think he's going to do a lot better this season. He's going to have more scoring opportunities. How are they going to treat Kyler coming off injuries? Now, I know he came off the injury last year and played at the end of the year, but still. See how that goes. Mostert, I said it earlier, I'm super worried. 32-year-old running back. We'll see. He's really had a strange career where it's like he's had one all right year and then 2 amazing years, and that's like it. So it's really weird with Mostert. I don't know how much tread is really on his tires. That's the thing. It's like he hasn't really early in his career. He wasn't used. So
I don't know. They put quite a few years on you in San Francisco in a few games,
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Shanahan's known for running backs into the ground. Shout out Terrell Davis.
Straight into the ground.
Okay. Next. Oh no, this one might have come up as well. Mike Evans or Devontae Adams? I think you said.
Oh, but that was before I changed my mind. But I'm still gonna go with Mike Evans.
Okay.
He's just so consistent, and we know how he plays with Baker, which is good as long as Baker's the same Baker. So I'll go Mike Evans.
Yeah, this was a tough one for me because I think overall Devontae Adams is a better receiver, but Mike Evans
I agree.
Mike Evans is so good too. So it's like
and it doesn't make sense either because he doesn't run a nice route, and he's not that fast.
Neither of them are,
and he doesn't have that great of hands. No. Devontae Adams runs a crazy route though.
He runs an amazing route, yeah, but he's not that fast.
And he's got great hands.
He's like a 4 or 5 guy and has great hands, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mike Evans does have great hands.
I don't know. I feel like Yeah, maybe. I feel like that was the knock on him early in his career, though. Was catch with his chest a
He
lot.
always gets 1,000 yards. I'd take
He's so
Mike
good.
Evans, but this one sucks. The reason why I also take Mike Evans, I think he's a better quarterback situation. He was nuts last year. He was like the steal of the draft for me last year. I felt great about it.
Yeah.
Now people are realizing he's going a lot higher this year. So I'll take Mike Evans, but that is such a tough one where it's like Devontae could easily get fed, especially now that Josh Jacobs is not on the Raiders anymore. It's Zamir White, but we'll see how that goes.
Josh Jacobs is set to have a nice year now that AJ Dillon's out.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
I hope he's not done. I hope he's not washed. I don't think he is, but
I don't think he is either, honestly. I think he was just on the worst fucking team ever last year.
they had Josh McDaniels as the head coach. What can you do? So
yeah.
This one I have to change because this was the Hurts versus Allen. This one is now Dak or Joe Burrow.
Ugh.
Dak was nuts last year in fantasy.
The idea that I might have to pick Dak over Joe Burrow is unsettling.
Dak number 3 in points last year. Fantasy.
Makes it way worse.
What are you gonna do?
I have to take him. Fucking stupid question. I hate this question.
You're taking Dak.
Yeah. What do you mean? I have to. What?
Idiot.
No.
Okay, so the worst pick, but I'm definitely taking Joe Burrow.
Dak is just so consistent in fantasy. Besides, like the 3 weeks a year where the Cowboys put up 3 points.
Well, that's because whenever they're against good teams, but
Yeah.
I'm taking Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be the MVP this year. I think this is really their last chance for a year, maybe 2, the Bengals to be a Super Bowl contender. We'll see. But T. Higgins is gone.
You know what I'm thinking about?
So I'm really worried. So I think Bengals, this is their year. They need to go for it big time. I think Joe Burrow's going to be nasty. When he was healthy last year, after that stupid little calf injury for those couple weeks, he was disgustingly good. So
football's more fun when Joe Burrow's good.
Oh, God, is it ever so much better.
So like fucking 450 a game, just fucking dicing it.
Lighting up San Fran. I was like, what? No one lights up San Fran.
Who are you?
Love it.
So maybe talk me into it.
Oh, let's go. Fucking hell. Everyone write that down. Okay. Last one. Jake Ferguson or Brock Bowers. Now, this is a super weird one because Brock Bowers is supposed to be basically a generational tight end.
I'm going with fucking Brock Bowers. How about that?
Shit.
Gardner Minshew loves the tight end because he seems like a fucking sick player. And because I'm kind of expecting the Cowboys to take a bit of a step back. And Ferguson had just way too fucking crazy of a year last year, It's like, I'll go Bowers. I think Bowers is going to be quite good.
I am going to take Ferguson only because of Dak versus Gardner Minshew. That's one of my only things. And they target him a ton in the red zone. Also, I think the weapons are better on the Raiders, funny enough. Because I'd rather have Zamir White than Cowboys running backs, whether it's Rico Dowdle or Zeke Elliott or Dalvin Cook. Whatever's left of him.
Doing with Dalvin Cook, man?
I told you guys weren't going to find shit. You didn't want to believe me. Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers.
No shit.
I'd rather have Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers over CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. And then you have Brock Bowers and Ferguson. So, okay. So I just think
so average, dude.
He's a nice number 2, man. He's a really nice number 2.
Man, he's all right.
He's nice. He's really nice.
I like Brandon Cooks.
No, you don't.
Cooks, he's pretty good.
Nobody likes Brandon Cooks. He's just kind of there. He's like fast, old man. There's a reason why he's been on like 15 teams at this point.
And he's been good on every team.
Thanks for we like Michael Thomas more. Peace out.
Which was wrong in the end.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only because the guy got a chronic ankle injury. Like he was born with an ankle injury.
Yeah, because he's a pussy.
First, he set the NFL record for most catches in a year. So there's that.
Slant.
Hey, Slant boy should have won the Super Bowl. Ref Bowl. Then you got the Patriots. They're like, hey, we had our fun with you. You got concussed. Peace out. And the Rams were like, okay, nah, we got Cup. Peace out. You know, the guy's just bouncing around.
I think he went Saints, Rams, Patriots, Rams.
No, he's not on the Rams twice.
It might have been.
No.
Because I remember the Rams traded for him right when they got McVay, I think.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because they had Woods, Cooks, and somebody else.
I think he went from Saints to the Pats, and then the Pats lost the Super Bowl, and then the year right after, the Pats won the Super Bowl against Cooks on the Rams. I'm pretty sure.
An easy way to find this out.
I'm pretty effing sure.
I'm looking.
I put money on it at this point. I think everyone was like, wow, Belichick lost his fastball because Foles nuked him, and then next year he only gave up 3 points in the Super Bowl, so everyone was like, my bad, Belichick's still sick, Sith Lord. And Brandon Cooks lost back-to-back Super Bowls. Poor bastard.
Yeah. Hold on.
Come on, Wikipedia.
That's the wrong thing.
Wikipedia.
Oh my god, this stupid website doesn't let you script split screen.
Saints, Patriots, Rams, Texans, Cowboys. Found it in 2 seconds. Done. Not only did I find it faster, but I was right. God, that feels good.
Fucking computer boy.
Yeah, century you living in.
Yeah, I mean,
So he's not a guy anymore. He's not
even that old, dude.
Well, what has he done for me lately?
Been pretty good on the Cowboys.
He hasn't done shit.
No, he was pretty good last year.
What did he do?
Hey, don't make that sound.
I'll make whatever sound I want, especially when we're talking about Brandon Cooks. Dude didn't do shit. Oh god, cut that. Now keep that in. Yeah, no, I just think Ferguson is gonna have more targets over Brock Bowers. That's why he's gonna do that. Yeah, shit.
That's a good conclusion.
It's late. Yeah. All right. Next week, Eli's gonna be back. It is gonna be prediction week. We already gave basically our entire playoff layouts. We're just gonna go over that briefly. See if there's any last minute amendments. I'm flirting with Miami. I'm flirting not with Miami. We'll see. I hate their schedule. So we're going to go over that briefly. We're going to go over our divisions in order. And we're going to give our Super Bowl picks. It's going to be absolutely nasty. Not to mention some nice bets coming on for Sunday football and Joel's Sunday spread. So stick around for that next week. It's going to be absolutely sick. Like and subscribe. That's it for us. The Almost Sunday podcast. See you next week.